Hello, my name is Grace Nelson. I'm a graduate assistant at the Service Learning Academy at UNO. Today, I will talk to you about what the Service Learning Academy does, what the Maverick Philanthropy initiative is, why you will engage in service learning in your course this semester, and the pedagogy behind service learning. To give you some background, the SLA was founded in 1999. Since then, it has grown to offer courses in all colleges, including the graduate level. We are tightly linked to the community with our facilitation of service learning projects year-round. We work with over 300 community partners in over 75 schools each year. We employ two different types of project models at the Service Learning Academy. First is a P16 model. It involves three partners, a UNO class, a K-12 class, and a community partner. The second model is a traditional model. It involves two partners, a UNO class and a community partner. In this course, you will engage in the traditional model for your final project of the semester. I won't go over the details of your project today. I will leave that to your professor to go over in greater detail when the project gets a little closer. The Maverick Philanthropy Initiative is a form of community engagement where service learning and philanthropic efforts meet. You will engage in experiential learning. Your coursework is directly connected to the project you are working on. At the same time, your learning is connected to charitable giving. Your class will have a $1,000 grant to donate to a community organization. You get to decide as a class on one community organization to grant the funds to. You'll learn more about the details of how that works later on. But for now, we're going to focus on the why. Why are we doing this form of service learning? Why are we engaging in a project? Why are we pursuing these philanthropic efforts? So this is a student-led initiative. It's a student-led initiative from start to finish. You'll get to connect with an agency of your choice, practice advocacy, and lead philanthropic efforts on behalf of a community agency, and ultimately exercise critical thinking to collectively determine the distribution of class funds. Through the Maverick Philanthropy Initiative, you will be engaging in service learning. So what service learning is, it's a form of experiential learning. So it's a method of teaching that combines classroom instruction with meaningful, community-identified service. It's a form of engaged teaching and learning that emphasizes critical thinking by using reflection to connect course content with real-world experiences. Service learning instructors partner with community organizations as co-teachers and encourage a heightened sense of community, civic engagement, and personal responsibility for students while building capacity and contributing to real community impact. So you have an opportunity in your community-identified service to exercise community action. And it's also, like I said, rooted in reflection to really get you engaged and thinking critically about all the different components that go into service learning. So that community involvement, your practical experience, and your academic study. As I mentioned before, in this course, your service learning will be connected with philanthropic efforts. You will be engaging the student philanthropy model, which is a model of service learning. Service learning is experiential learning as we already established, but in this case, with the student philanthropy model, your experiential learning is linked to charitable giving. That charitable giving consists of your skills, your time, and the opportunity to give an organization something tangible. The thing that is tangible is both your support, creative and innovative perspective as a student and scholar, but also as a class, you will collectively decide on what organization to grant $1,000 to. So there's that opportunity for a community organization as well, and you get to decide where that goes. That's a part of your community action. You are leaders in this case. It's a student-led initiative where you get to decide collectively as a class how to distribute those funds. So that leads to a sense of civic responsibility. It connects us to this idea of community stewardship and that encompasses that civic responsibility. You're responsible for connecting with an organization, representing them well, and representing the issue that they address well. You get to be their advocate, and you get to serve as a philanthropic steward for the work that they do in the community. It's an opportunity to network, connect, and promote your academic learning. The things that you're learning in class get to be connected to this sense of charitable giving within the community you live in. Now, how do we engage? So in Service Learning Academy, we occupy an asset-based form of engagement. So what that means is we value community assets in the process of engaging. So let's break down what that means. What are community assets? What's community and what's assets? So community is about sharing the same space or sharing something in common with one another. So there are various types of community and collections of people. So it could be on a local, national, or global scale. For example, your class, your UNO class, is a community in and of itself. But also you can go broader and look at UNO campus. That's a community in and of itself as well. And when we think about assets, those are what our community has, not what it lacks or needs. It focuses on what is there, what strengths are there, what opportunities are there, and it sees our partners for what they are, who they are, and what they have to give. So in your service learning project this semester, you will learn about community needs, how agencies address those needs, and how as an individual or student group you can contribute to those needs. So the asset-based or strength-based approach to service learning allows us to be better stewards of our community. It offers guidelines for community caretaking. So another thing that I like to frame it in is there's a quote by Australian Aboriginal elder Lila Watson, where she says, "If you have come here to serve me, you are wasting your time. If you have come because your liberation is bound up with mine, then let us work together." So the more we understand and dignify one another in our community work, the more profoundly we can enhance our collective social well-being. Here's a table to help you better understand how the asset-based approach to service learning works. So if we look at things from a needs-based perspective, we see what's not there, which leads to services to meet needs, which leads to community members or people being viewed as consumers, and programs become the answer. Whereas if we look at an asset-based model, then we're looking at what is there, which leads to building connections and contributions within our community, and ultimately that fosters community, and you begin to view community and people as the answer. So you're valuing your community assets. So when we look at I factors, this is something that's often practiced in the student philanthropy model, and this is something that you'll use as you go through your service learning project. It'll all start by identifying an opportunity in the community, something that you're passionate about, an issue you're passionate about, and then you'll investigate it. You'll investigate what agencies are doing to address that community issue. And then you'll invest your time, talent, and treasure in researching, understanding that issue and what that agency does, and then you'll incorporate the learning goals of your course and you'll create a final product that surrounds that community issue and that community agency, and you will use your philanthropic efforts to promote that community mission and give a call to action to your fellow students. And from there on, together you'll make a difference by choosing where this $1,000 grant will go. And it will go to one community organization that you all represent, and your skills and efforts do matter because these make a difference, and they have in past semesters as well, and I can tell you that the community agencies, especially in a time of a pandemic, are very grateful to receive funds and to hear the efforts of students and the passions that students have. It makes a difference. Service learning is an opportunity for you to practice professional skills. Here's what is expected of you in a service learning class. First, while working on your project, prepare to interact. This is the place where you will translate what you are learning in the classroom to real-world experience. Please be respectful of the time community partners are taking to engage with you. They have a lot on their plate, just like you. And learn from them. Be open to what they have to teach you. Next, communicate. Communicate with your professor about the specific expectations for your coursework in this project. Communicate with community partners as you work with them. Let them know if your internet is down or if you're running behind, and be sure to ask them questions. Lastly, know you can communicate with SLA staff. Let us know if you are having trouble with connecting with your community partner or reaching out to someone. We can help you with that. We want to be there for you and support you in this process. Netiquette is another expectation. We are living in a digital age. In virtual meetings, it is important to use appropriate language and wear appropriate clothing. Also, follow your instructor's instructions on microphone and camera usage if you're on video, as well as be present to virtual meetings and phone calls with community partners and fellow classmates. Dress code, a reminder to dress appropriately for all virtual meetings, especially with community partners. If you have specific questions about dress code, ask your professor or SLA staff. Finally, you will have the opportunity to develop relationships with community partners. Many of the community partners will remember you. It is a great way to explore future career opportunities. We have even had UNO students get job offers during service learning projects, which is pretty exciting. Embrace the opportunity to network and build a positive relationship with the community partner you connect with. As I mentioned before, service learning is rooted in reflection. So let's look at the 4 C's of reflection to help us understand how we can engage in effective reflection. So continuous. That means the reflection is happening before, during, and after your service learning project. You're always asking, what's going on here? What can I be doing better? What went well? What didn't go well? Also, we're looking at it in a way that's connected. So your class material is connected to the community philanthropy that you're working on in your service learning project. And contextualized. That places service learning in a larger context. So you're beginning to look at what's the bigger picture here? Why are we doing these philanthropic efforts? How does that affect me, my community? And also, we're thinking about it in the form of challenging. So we want you to stretch your mind. We want you to ask why 5 times. Like, why did I feel this way when engaging with the community partner or when researching this community issue? How does this affect me and my social location? What assumptions did I bring to the table before I went to that interview and I learned more about my community organization and the work that they do and the population that they serve? So you're consistently exploring new ways of thinking and problem solving. You can think of it as a way of a constant practice of self-awareness and self-reflection. You're always learning more about yourself and the environment around you. As we begin to engage with this project, I'd like to give a plug for the Community Engaged Scholar designation. This is a unique opportunity at UNO. This is a designation that goes in your transcript upon graduation. There are 4 components to complete in order to earn this designation. The first is complete 1 community-based learning experience. The second is complete 6 hours of service learning coursework. That's completing 2 service learning designated courses at UNO. The third is to complete 135 hours of community service or volunteerism in your community. That's outside of service learning coursework. And the fourth is to complete reflection. You'll have to submit 4 reflections total, 1 per category, including 1 final reflection. And lastly, if you look up Community Engaged Scholar designation on UNO's website, you'll find a Canvas site. And if you get connected to that Canvas site, you'll be able to house all of your work that you create as you go and complete all of the information for your designation. And when you're all done, you can submit it for review on that Canvas website. So this designation is a great opportunity, something you are well on your way to earning, and it's an asset you can promote to future employers. At the Service Learning Academy, we are very excited for you all to engage in this initiative. You will collectively build new relationships with multiple community agencies and donate a $1,000 grant to 1 community agency, a wonderful way to support their work and promote positive social action within our community. We want to thank you in advance for the time and energy you are putting into this project. It is very beneficial to our community to experience your philanthropic leadership and insight. You are leaders and agents of change in our community. Thank you. If you have any questions, please contact us at the Service Learning Academy email or phone number. We are happy to help.